basic to the Dzogpa Chenpo practice. Everything comes in the refuge, you know? So it's very important to sort of understand. So I can elaborate a little bit. So let's, before talking, let's read it together. Yeah, recite the refuge in Bodhicitta three times, and then I can start talking. Yeah. Okay, you all have, yeah, we can do with the bell and the maru. As practice, again we will do you know, one set of practice. I mean, one complete, cannot complete until we finish. We have to do it, all the practices in order to get familiar with it. Kuncho sungi rajin la da ban ru ju sim chen nam na jang chu per do gyap su ji namo lama de si bi bi go kuncho sungi rajin la da ban ru ju sim chen nam jang chu per do gyap su ji namo lama de si bi bi go kuncho sungi rajin la da ban ru ju sim chen nam jang chu per do gyap su ji sim ge ju kun kan do lama sang ge du Kala gandul jegi dua dulwa singedu sinjendu bundandu lama sangedu Kala gandul jegi dua dulwa singedu Simjendu bundandu lama sangi dumneni kala gandu jigi jua julwa singi. Okay, so I think from here we can do after talking. Yeah. So let's also, yeah, I will come with I will also explain the preliminary which I just sent to all of you. I think you all downloaded. Yeah, now it has only the what do you call Sirkem offering is missing, which is Rigzinla is translating now. We haven't finished yet. Apart from that, the latest this translation, it with the Nolsang practice with preliminary part and aspiration prayer. So you can look at that, yeah. So we have got the translation of the refuge also. But yeah, you can just look at it. Go to Captain Hadi, jelly you na sorry. Jelly you na pestana. Jelly to go to Quran the pestana. Sorry. So okay. So when we say refuge, yeah, I think of course you all are quite very familiar with refuge is the first thing we take, you know. So we have to understand when we say refuge, you know, why. I mean, refuge. We all know what does it mean, you know. So we have to question why we have to take refuge. I think it is quite important, you know. Always sort of why question is very good, I think. And I think many of you, especially Westerners, they always ask why and why we have to do how, and all this question comes, which is very good, I think, you know. So, when it comes to practice Buddha Dharma, we have to ask why I have to take refuge, you know, for what purpose, you know, by taking refuge, what I will gain, you know, what I will sort of, attain, so that we have to know what is the result of, or what is the reason and what is the result of taking refuge. So that question we always, whenever, whatever practice we do, I kind of quite often I mention, why I have to be practicing, why I want to be a practitioner, so this question we have to have, kind of we have to ask ourselves now and again, or keep on asking, so when we say refuge, in general, refuge means, we want a protection, isn't it? We are, when we, for example, just in general term, when we say refuge, for example, when someone is in difficult condition, so I don't know, there's nowhere to go, there's no one to turn to, it's quite I think when you are in difficult time, then we want protection. We say normally refuge, in Tibetan we say kyap do. So kyap means protection, and do means going, going to protection, kind of. So we need a protection. So why we have to go to, we need a protection, so so we are in a kind of in a danger, when you are in danger, when you are in difficult time, when you have no direction, you are kind of lost, then we need protection, isn't it? That always happens, when we are happy, when we are everything is there, you are successful, we never remember Guru, Buddha, Dharma, we forget, so when you are in difficult time, for example, it quite often happens with many of us, I think, when we are kind of, we are in car, we are going in car in a very kind of a narrow, kind of, how do you say, difficult road, very scary road. Then we start to chant, Om Jitsun Mapama Dharma Lachasala, we start to chant, I think, Dolma, Tara, I think we start to recite Banza Guru, so many things, So when we are enjoying everything is pleasure, we forget. That's what Guru Rinpoche said very clearly, You will only remember when there is a difficult and scary time, then you will remember me, So that happens with many of us. That in fact, truly happens. We don't remember when we are happy, we are successful, we have no problems. Also, Buddha Dharma is very far away. When it comes to difficult time, when you are sick, definitely we will always, pay homage to Guru, Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Please protect me, please save me. I am in difficult time. Whatever problems we face, then we remember. So anyway, this is the, when we say protection, So in general term, for example, when we want to take refuge, for example, like place like Tibet, when they lost their countries, so there are so many, they have to take, I think, take refuge, in different countries. And many things happen these days. From, I think, refugee, we always talk about, I think, all this news and media always talk about taking refuge and all these things. Why? Because they have no direction, they have no place to go. They have no one to turn to. So they have to take refuge. Please, keep me as a US citizen and all, you give me US citizenship, or I don't know, all these things happen, isn't it? So that's what we call refuge, when you are in difficult time. So when it comes to this spiritual refuge, means what kind of problem we have, what kind of difficulty we are facing. So we are saying that samsara is full of suffering, isn't it? Samsara is full of suffering. That's why I want to take refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That's what we meant to, and that's why we are, therefore we are taking refuge. So, so when we say samsara is full of sufferings, so we have to analyze, we have to check, is samsara is really suffering? But sometimes we forget, we think that human, in wherever you are, what, your success, your career, your lifestyle, you are quite okay. So you don't see this is okay, no, then we have no genuine refuge. Even though we take refuge, the ceremonial one or traditional refuge we take from different masters, different different teacher we take, but then deeply we don't know, we are not sure whether you have a very deep kind of a genuine how do you say, kind of kind of a greedy or genuine, something you really need from depth of your heart. I need this protection. I need this refuge, you know. So in order to have that, we have to realize the suffering of the samsara, you know. So when we say suffering of the samsara, means we always talk about the six realms beings, you know. For example, when we talk about the hell beings, like, so three lower realms, and then three upper realms, which we always talk. I mean, the samsara is, you know, how do you say, has these six realms. So when we talk about the hell beings, they are the most extremely kind of going through difficulties, you know. 24 hours, which we said hot hell and cold hell, you know. So their hot hells are always boiling in metal boil water, you know. 24 hours they are boiling, you know. So that is kind of we can't even imagine, you know. We can't even want to hear. That's what one of the great master, the Nagarjuna said. The hell beings and hungry ghosts and these sufferings, we can't even want to hear, you know. We can't even hear, you know. Forget about facing it, you know. Forget about really experiencing it, you know. It's just unimaginable, you know. And their life, you know, how long their lifespan is just unbelievable. It's a countless kind of life they are going through. And then the suffering is like 24 hours, you know. There is not even a single 1 minute or 1 second they are free from the boiling. No, they are 24 hours boiling. So how, you know, how can it be a pleasure? You know, it's a total extreme kind of suffering. Of course, that is, we all know that. And when we talk about the hungry ghost, it's just unbelievable, you know. They have no, their throat is like there are so many types of hungry ghosts. So among them, the common one is, we say their throat is like a needle, you know, hole of a needle, you know. So even though they can't find water and food for ages, you know. So even they find one day, you know, I mean, just imagine they find drops of water. It doesn't go from their throat, you know, because their throat is so small, so tiny. It's a needle hole, you know, how small, how tiny it is. So it wouldn't go. So their sufferings are just unbelievable. So when we talk about hungry ghosts and hell beings, because we don't see, you know, so somehow many of us kind of, or maybe it exists or it doesn't exist. We don't have a confident, or we don't have kind of faith in it. But when we look at the animals, you know. Animals are in front of us. Animals, the suffering of animals, the main suffering of animals are, we use them, you know. Human beings are using them. For example, the horses, or the, I don't know, these yaks and the buffaloes, you know. In India, we can see so many horses, you know. They make, you know, they I mean, 10s and 20 people, you know, on their back, and then the one horse have to pull it. You know, it's just unbelievable. Just imagine how it would be. So beings are suffering like that, and then eating one another. You know, the suffering of animals is they are eating one another. We can see, just go in your garden and then look precisely. You know, they are, you know, a bird comes and eat insects all in a second, you know. So like animals are, we can see from our eyes and then analyze it, you know, how difficult time, how uncertain the life they have, you know. They can die just, it's a very easy, you know. When we walk and when we walk, how many insects we are killing. So in animals' life, it's not a pleasure at all, you know. Of course, how it is pleasure. And then in water, and these days, thanks to this, you know, like the modern technology, they take so many different, you know, this documentary they show, you know, in how the beings in water, how they suffer, you know, what it happens. And then beings in the wild, you know, all this wildlife, it's just unbelievable. It's full of suffering anyway. And then when we talk about let's say the human realm, yeah, when we say human realm, we think somehow it's quite pleasure. I think we all think that, isn't it? I mean, we have food to eat, we have clothes to wear, we have shelter to, we have a good house, I mean, okay, proper house to live. So it's okay. But actually, if we really look precisely into it, it's also, it's a suffering, you know, it changes every minute, every second. So human beings suffering, we call it the keganachi dungel, you know, the suffering of born, birth, and suffering of aging, and then suffering of death, and then suffering of sicknesses. These four are the four major suffering of human beings. And there are so many minor, like what you wish you wouldn't get, what you don't wish you will get, you know, what you meet with, you don't want to meet with enemy, but you will have so many enemies. You always want good friend, but then good friends are departing from you. Or there are so many 11 or 12 minor sufferings are there. So when we look into it, that's true, you know. I mean, we all are we are constantly going through suffering actually, but we are not kind of, how do you say, precisely looking into it, or maybe we are checking it, analyzing it. We are not really analyzing it, we are just randomly, or how do you say, roughly just living our life, you know. But if we look deeply into how do you say, precisely into it, we are full of suffering, you know. Of course, the suffering of birth, we all already suffered, you know, but we forget, we are too young. I don't know how it was, just unimaginable kind of suffering when our mother give birth to us. It's just, I think it's just so much pain. It's, I think, unexpressible kind of, but we all forget that. But now we are suffering, in which suffering, you know, we are in the aging, which is, of course, we all going through, and we all feel so difficult, you know, when we age, when we, as I mentioned the other day, when we have a single gray hair, we feel very bad, you know. When we have started to have wrinkle, we feel very bad. And then slowly, eventually, we have limb, you know, hands problem, bone problem, I don't know, all this aging problem, you know, can't hear, can't see, all this comes day by day, you know, every single day. It's not that all of a sudden you just become old. It's not. From the day one you born in this world, you know, from the day one, it's you know, changing. You are aging, you know, day one, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, years by years, you are aging, you know. You're going nowhere, but you are going towards the death, you know. So we are in that process now. And then sickness, of course, the suffering of sickness is, we all are suffering anyway, so many different suffering. Now in this time, we are so scared of this, you know, this tragic virus. We are so scared of getting it, you know. It's just unbelievable. So that's why we have to be so careful. I don't know, whatever we have to do, we all have to follow. Why? Because we are so scared of getting sick. So that's the nature, or what do you call, that's the nature of human being. We all are getting sick, even though we have no virus. We all are getting sick. We are having headache. We are going through cough, and I don't know, cold, and I don't know, kidney problem, lung problem, heart problem, depression, whatnot. You know, there are countless disease. We can't even name them. You know, there are so many. So these are the suffering of human being. And then, of course, suffering of death is I think, it's just, you know, we just don't want to talk about it. We don't say, please don't say, you know, I just don't want to die. But then we have to go through it anyway. That is the most, I think, suffering experience, you know, when we die. You know, that's why we have to prepare. We have to get prepared from now. We always have to think about dying, impermanent. That's why Buddha Dharma always teach about, you know, you have to, you know, it's not that when we sometimes we think, when we talk about the sufferings and death and all these things, it's funny. Then why we have to always think and, you know, feel ourselves, feel bad, you know, make how do you say, by thinking impermanent, we feel bad, you know. But it's not. Buddha Dharma is teaching you to get familiar with it. So then when you die, you have no suffering all of a sudden. Otherwise, you know, you live your life not even thinking, you know, single day thinking of impermanent, and all of a sudden the death came, you know, it just, then you can't take it. You are so depressed, you are so panicked, you are the just unbelievable kind of suffering you have to go through when it comes, you know, when the day arrived, the death of the, you know, when you die. So that's why we have to prepare. We always have to remind ourselves, I have to die, so now later Anyway, we all have to, of course, people like us or people like me, we are ordinary beings, we definitely, there is no, it's uncertain, we never know whether I will die tomorrow, whether I will die next year, until next year I am alive or not, we never know. Forget about us, the great masters, like great masters who have who have the power of not dying. Actually, they have all these great masters here, but then they are also going from this world. They are leaving this world. Buddha Shakyamuni himself also left this world for what? In order to show us the impermanent. So that we have to always remember. So anyway, I'm again kind of directing to another. So death, suffering of death is just, I think, it's just unbelievable. And I mean, if we are prepared enough, then there is no again, if we realize and if we are prepared enough and we are practicing well, I think that is also it's a part of our life anyway. We all have to go through it. So, but it's a suffering. It's in suffering. These are the four major suffering we all have to go through. So, and of course, then ups and downs in our life. As I said, we have so many enemies. We have so many people who don't like us. We have to go through every day. That's the nature of life. So many problems, so many ups and downs. I don't know. And then of course, the people who we really love, they go away from us. That's a suffering. People we don't love, they come to us and irritate us. They always kind of give you problems. These all are the what do you call this, anyway, bumpy, lots of bumpy road. So human realm is also, of course, I mean, if we precisely think about it, it's a full of suffering. No matter how pleasure it looks, no matter how beautiful it looks, sooner or later it's going to collapse. Sooner or later it's going to change. I mean, we all can see, for example, how the rich people, the famous people who are so well known, who are just kind of the celebrities who have been a billionaire, nothing, who are so successful, they have everything in this life, but then when they die, what can they take? They can't even take a single penny. If you are a billionaire, they can't even take a single penny with you. If they have, I don't know how many cars, how many aeroplanes they have, they can't take one. When they die, you have to, even including your body, you have to leave. You have to go empty-handed. So that actually says it's a cause of it. It's all, these all are one. No matter how beautiful, how pleasure it looks, sooner or later it's going to be the cause of suffering. So if you are really a rich, wealthy people, it's a double suffering. When you have to leave all these things, then it really gives you kind of so much pain. So much attachment you have towards that, and then it gives you double, triple kind of I think million times more painful than people who die with nothing. So these are the kind of, it's a cause of suffering anyway. So so anyway, that's why then now we say about the human realm, yeah. And then when we talk about the demigods are, for lifetime they are fighting, because why we have to how do you say, result of being born in the demigod is the result of jealousy. If you have lots of jealousy, you would reborn in the demigod. So they have to fight lifetimes. Okay, for lifetime they have to fight. It's just unbelievable. How, imagine, how would be, we rather die, than every day fighting, every day quarreling, every day shouting, crying. I don't know what kind of life it is. So that's full of suffering anyway. And then when we say God realm, it, of course, temporary, it's a very pleasure. For time being, they are very happy. They have whatever they wish, it just come in front of you. Whatever they want to eat, it comes on the table. They have so pleasure, and because of lots of accumulations of merit, you will reborn as a God realm. But then when they die, then the death of this, it's just unbelievable. When they have to die, they know, I think before, what is it? they say 7 days. Actually 7 days, our human days, their life is so long. So they said 7 days. Actually that means 7 years or 700 years or something like that. So then, when they know you are going to die, no one will look after you. They see you from very far. They can't even touch you. So that suffering is just unbelievable, So they have, I don't know, they have so many kind of a I don't know, normally they live so happily, so they have no smell, they have their own light, they don't need light like the outer light. They have their inner lights, everything diminished, everything collapsed, and then they go through so pain, which is just unbelievable. And then they see, because of their clairvoyance or whatever, they see where you are going to reborn. So mostly from the God realm, you will reborn in the hell realms, because in God realm you forget, you are enjoying. It's just overjoyed. You are enjoying for a lifetime. You didn't even thought about the Buddha Dharma and practicing. That's why you finished all your accumulations of merit, because you are enjoying you are having so much pleasure. So now then you have nothing got, you did no practice, you didn't do any accumulations of merit, so you will reborn in the hell realm that they see. So now I'm going to reborn in hell, the hell beings. So they are going through tremendous, unbelievable suffering, So anyway, the God realm is, of course, again, it's a full of suffering, when they die. So this we have to understand, okay? In order to take a refuge, we have to understand that wherever you born in this samsara, it's full of suffering. Yeah. So then we need a protection. We need, who will, now I don't want to be in this life. Anyway, I'm very fortunate. For example, that's what we all have to think. I born in the human realm, and then, human realm, and then the precious human life, we say, we are born with the precious human life. You have Buddha Dharma, you have master, you have met Guru, you have Buddha Dharma, you have so many Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana practice to practice. So now we have everything in your hand, It's like a border. We say, many great masters, it comes in the text, you are in a border where you want to go. For example, if you are in a border of India and Nepal, you are at the very border. You just want to cross and then go to Nepal, or you want to go to India, So we are like, I want to liberate from this samsara, or I want to be in the samsara. You are in the very much border. You have choice now. We have the choice now, it's an opportunity. So we are very fortunate, but then we have to question ourselves, where you want to reborn. Again, I want to be reborn in human realm. Then you don't have to take refuge, because you in a human being, refuge means you understand, or you realize the suffering of samsara. So I want to liberate. No matter how pleasure it looks, everything going to change. Everything gives you suffer. Everything, all the pleasures are gradually going, turning into the pain. It's all full of suffering. So I want to take refuge. So this is the kind of genuine kind of refuge. Then we would look for refuge. Who will protect now, in order to liberate from samsara, in order to totally leave the samsara back and then go. Now who will help me? Who will protect me? So then we will look for it. This is the refuge. We say refuge means, as I mentioned before, you are in difficult time and you have nothing, no direction. We are in no direction now, actually. We are lost in this samsara. We are lost in the ignorance, in this samsara. So I want to liberate. So who will protect now? So then it comes now three jewels. We say Konjoksum, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will be the ultimate refuge. There are so many temporary refuge. Temporary, for example, when you are hungry, food is the temporary refuge. When you are sick, doctor is temporary refuge. but then doctor will wouldn't liberate you from the suffering from the samsara. No way. There are so many temporary refuge which we always need, but then if I really want to liberate from samsara, who will protect me? Means the three the jewels comes, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So so we have to have, we say normally, what do you call this? So then when we have this feeling, okay, now it's really, it's a suffering, full of suffering, I want protection, who will protect? Then we will realize that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me, you will liberate me. Then we have a we call it threefold faith, or the threefold devotion. So the first one is inspired faith or devotion, and then aspiring faith or devotion, and then confident faith or devotion. We say, so this, you have to have this, among these three of these. So inspired means you get kind of inspired, oh, it looks amazing, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me. You just feel kind of inspired. That's the first, the very how do you say, the first one, beginner. And then beginner in the sense, the first step anyway. And then second step is like aspiring, I want, deeply kind of, I want, or the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me. I really want kind of I want to liberate, or that kind of you feel like want, aspiring. And then having confident devotion is the most important one, confident. Then you have confident, or you have 100%, you are 100% sure that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me and liberate me from the samsara. You have 100% confident in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So that is the devotion or the faith one have to have. Inspired and aspiring can change, you inspired, for example, we say inspired means you kind of like it. I like it, I like it, looks quite beautiful, it looks quite fun, I like Buddha, taking refuge, I like taking refuge, I like to be, to be a practitioner. So like, maybe sometimes then it change, you like it for a few years, after that you wouldn't like it. So that is not the ultimate kind of devotion. And then aspiring, when you have aspire, I want this, for temporarily, or I feel good, I want it. Again, that will also change. So we as a practitioner, if you want to be a genuine practitioner, we have to have the last devotion, which is the confident. You have a confident, you have 100%, you are 100% sure that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me. I want to take refuge, and it will never change. No matter what kind of difficulty, problems you face, you will never give up. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is the ultimate refuge. That's why we call it ultimate refuge, Yeah. So then and you have to for the beginner or for the newcomers, as inspired and aspiring devotion or faith is also important. We have to, just to start with, in the beginning, we have to inspire, otherwise without inspiring, how would you take refuge? You have to feel kind of inspired, when you meet a kind of a person, and he or she looks very inspired, then you kind of like it, and then start to talk, and then you get to know, and then eventually then you become very good friend, So it's like that. First we have to get inspired, and then aspiring, but then we don't want to just stick with just inspired for lifetime. It's not like that. And then we have to, the ultimate refuge is the confident. We have to have confidence in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That devotion is very important. Yeah. So when we say confident, let me just give kind of a example. For example, just imagine a mother and a child. Yeah. Mother and a child in a kind of a huge ground, or in a forest, let's say in a forest, just a mother and a child can just kind of what do you say, just walk a little bit, so then mother went somewhere, the child just living in a place, and mother went to walk or look for something, and a very scary, aggressive dog came, And then when the dog comes, of course, as soon as the child saw the dog, I mean, we feel so scared, he would, I mean, definitely, if the dog managed to caught this baby or the child, he would immediately eat you up live, for sure. Mother is not there. So as soon as the child saw the aggressive dog coming towards you, what would the child do? He would definitely look for mother, he or she would definitely look for mother. There is no other thought, no second thought. He will immediately, the mother will come in his mind, and he would run towards the mother. There's no doubt about it. He knows that mother will protect me, he will immediately run to the mother, so that is kind of, he would. And then of course, when mother saw it, mother will protect him, there is no doubt about it. So similarly, it's an example I'm giving, so we are in the ignorance in this, we are lost in this samsara. We are in lost in this suffering of samsara. So when we realize, it's a full of suffering, it's just kind of there are so many examples of samsara being as I don't know, snake nest. It's a fire, it's a kind of how do you say, it's a full of fire, you wouldn't jump in the fire. So it's a full of suffering. So when we understand or we realize that who would protect me, as I said, no second thought will come in your mind. You will immediately think about the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and then you would run towards the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and then you are 100% sure and you're 100% confident that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect me. So we have to have this kind of, the child and mother example is kind of example, so we also have to have, without any thought, otherwise we wouldn't take a genuine refuge. So refuge is the first thing we all take, isn't it? First thing when you say, I want to be a practitioner, the first thing is you want to take refuge. So refuge means for what? So many of us, I think many of us, including us also, we as nuns and monks, when we take refuge, many of us have no genuine renunciation. That's what we call renunciation. Renunciation means understanding the suffering of the samsara. I don't want this anymore. I want to go. So like Buddha Shakyamuni himself, like Buddha, Buddha was born in the most pleasure, how do you say, position. He was a prince. He has got everything. He has palace, he has wives, hundred of wives, he has, I don't know, money, he is success, he is powerful, he has everything. Yet when Buddha realized the suffering of the human beings, he doesn't want that anymore. Initially he didn't know, and then he was starting to, he started to saw the sick people getting sick and people dying and people, rebirth and all these things. And then he left the world, left this pleasure world, as a, we call it as a saliva. We just, when we put throw our saliva, we wouldn't look back, at the saliva, where is it, So he left this world, left this pleasure world as a saliva, just left it, and then he went, Why? Because he thought, even though he was in the midst of pleasure, midst of beautiful, he had, I think, as a prince, he would never suffer in his lifetime. He can enjoy forever, until the death comes. Of course, when the death comes, there is no prince, there is no prime minister, there is no, I don't know, whatever, whoever you are, who, the death is same for everybody, So until then, Buddha will also, the prince will definitely have a wonderful life. But then he realized the suffering of the samsara, and then he left behind, and then he went, So similarly, we also, even though it's not, I think it's quite hard for us to have a total kind of a, realizing it, but sense of, it's no, the world doesn't really attractive to us, if the world is still attractive to you, it's a beautiful, I want to live in it, then we don't need protection. So there is no point taking refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, So you then, you rather take other refuge just to live pleasure in this life. So when we talk about the genuine refuge, we have to have a genuine kind of renunciation. It doesn't come in a how do you say, overnight. It's again, it's the same thing. That's why we have to analyze, we have to check, we have to keep reminding, we have to understand every difficulty when we are going through. We have to realize that as a suffering of samsara, it's a suffering. When you are going through today, you have faced a problem, big problem, I don't know, something, and then you have to understand this is a samsara. It's telling that samsara is suffering. So we want to liberate. I don't want this anymore. So anyway, so then the renunciation comes. So then when you have a proper or genuine renunciation, then we take refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So so there are kind of we say taking refuge is the doorway for all the vast and profound teachings and practice in the Buddhism. I think this is very important. It's, when we take refuge, it's the kind of a doorway. It opens the door. When you take a genuine refuge, it opens the door for all the vast and profound teachings to receive. If you don't have a genuine, if you haven't taken a genuine refuge, and then I think it blocks, then whatever practice you do, everything blocks. It doesn't really improve. So that's why, even though we don't have a renunciation like the Buddha have, we have to sense of, as I said, the world or this samsara doesn't, it shouldn't look attractive to you. Okay, I'm in this samsara. We have to eat food, we have to wear clothes, we have to have enough of everything, which is okay, but then it doesn't look so attractive, so beautiful. I'm fully enjoying. Then refuge doesn't need. That's why I'm kind of highlighting. It's very important. Then, once you have, okay, it's even though it looks pleasure, it's going to change. It's going to anyway. One day it's going to collapse. It's going to change. It's a cause of suffering. If you have this understanding, then you would do a genuine practice. So when we so there are a few classification in taking refuge. So we say worldly refuge and then transcendental refuge. Yeah. So worldly refuge. So there are few things we know when we take refuge. So worldly refuge means, again, we take refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So there are certain people who take refuge out of fear, out of fear of this very life. For example, I'm getting sick, I have a heart problem, I have kidney failure, I have liver problem. So, I have always this problem, this and that problem. In order to recover from these sicknesses, I want to take refuge. So that's why we called it the worldly refuge. It's okay for temporary, it's okay, but that is not the ultimate or the genuine refuge. You can take refuge. That's what we do. I think in your case it's different. Especially in Himalayas, when if you have a child kind of born with inability, problems with eyes, problems with, mute or not talking, then the legs has problem, hands has problem. They say, oh, he should become a monk, she should become nun. That's not a genuine kind of becoming nuns and monks. They are just taking kind of, how do you say, that's a worldly refuge in order to, or maybe he's always getting sick, always getting sick. So rather or you take refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So that's not the genuine one. And this one we called it jikup kikyabdo. Yeah, in Tibetan we say jikup. You are fear. You are very scared, or you are fear of getting sicknesses. That's why I want to take refuge. That's why it's a worldly refuge, we call it. And then legmon. So there are kind of a certain people who take refuge in order to reborn in the upper realm. At least you are very scared of the lower realms, like hungry ghosts, hell beings, and animals realms are just, it's a full of suffering. I really don't want to reborn in this three realms. I want to reborn as a human being, or the God realm, or the demigod. I want to reborn in the upper realm. Then you take refuge. This is also, it's a refuge, but that's why we call it legmon. You are wishing to reborn as a in a human realm, and with the I don't know, prosperity, wealthy, good looking. There are people who take refuge in order to reborn in the human realm with a successful life, with money, with I don't know, whatever, prosperity and all these things. This is again not the ultimate refuge or the genuine refuge. So that's why we call it worldly refuge. And then the second one is, we call it transcendental refuge. Means you take refuge in three jewel, with desire to escape from the suffering of samsara. So this, as I mentioned just now, the suffering, if the samsara is full of suffering, I don't want to reborn in any of these six realms. I want to totally liberate from the samsara. So that is, we call it transcendental refuge. Yeah. And then that has two division. One is, we call it which is hinayana, just for your sake. I want to reborn in, I don't want to reborn in any of the beings or in the samsara. I want to get enlightenment, and then just only me. Okay, I want to, you have no interfere with sentient beings and the other beings. I want to liberate. So that is, we call it hinayana. Yeah, hinayana practitioner, only thinking about oneself. I want to liberate. I don't want to reborn in any of these six realms beings. So that is, we call it hinayana practitioner. And then the second one is, we call it mahayana practitioner. Then you would say, not only me, how about all these beings, who are my mother? They have been mother for countless of times, so many times. They are equally suffering like me. They are equally going through difficulties like me. So what about them? Me, not only me, me and all beings want to liberate from samsara. That's why that's what we call it, mahayana. You have a, maha means big, yana means the vehicle. So mahayana, you have a big heart, you have a big mind to include all the sentient beings. So we all here, we all consider as a mahayana practitioner. Especially we all are, what the practices we are doing, for example, like Nolsang and all these practices are all are Vajrayana practitioners. So Vajrayana is even advanced than much advanced than Mahayana. So the refuge we are taking is, of course, we are very scared of the Mahayana, very scared of the suffering of the samsara. I want to liberate, but not only me, all the sentient beings, including me, we all want to liberate samsara. So this is the ultimate refuge, we say. Yeah. So that's what we definitely need as a, in order to have a genuine practitioner. But many of us, I think, I don't know about all of you, I think you might, when you took refuge, maybe you have thought about it, or many of us, like even including me, when I became in a very young age. Of course, I didn't really, all the genuine renunciation doesn't come, but fairly there's a little bit of understanding of the samsara, but then many of us also, same thing, nuns and monks also, we become nun, and then after receiving teaching, then we have to change. I think among you also, you just took refuge because my friend is taking refuge. That's why I just took refuge. This masters is giving refuge. I just took it. It looks quite fun. It looks quite beautiful. The ceremony, cutting hair and giving name, receiving a new name, looks beautiful. That's why I just did it. It's okay, but then later on, and if you until now, if you haven't realized it, so now you realize it. Now we have to change, and then we have to kind of think about this, all this samsara, and then try to be taking a genuine refuge. Yeah, try to have a genuine renunciation, little bit of understanding of the samsara, and then you would genuinely do it, and then you would never give up. Otherwise, there are many people who take refuge and then they give up, because they never thought about the genuine renunciation. Nothing never came, no feeling, just took it, and then it doesn't look, for time being it looks beautiful, it looks attractive, and then after a few years, it looks very boring. Why I took refuge? Just leave it. You give up, and then all these things happens. And then again it's a samaya breaking. There are so many obstacles, and then it's you will never complete anything. You just start doing something and then you give up, and then I think for lifetime, it says lifetime, lives and lives, you would never complete. If you do something and just give up, is a very bad sign. So we have to, in order to have a genuine refuge, we have to think about this and then take refuge. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the kind of a little bit of explanation about the refuge, how important it is, yeah, to have a genuine refuge. I think many of you know that, but just to remind, I just want to remind all of us. And then let's now look at the this one, translation with the refuge, which Rizzinla did it, the preliminary. Everyone downloaded it from the, or maybe you all have it before, no? So here, this is the Nolsang refuge. Is we say here, very beginning, from the very beginning, Namo, in the Guru, embodiment of all the Buddhas, nature of the three jewels, and I and all the 6 classes of beings take refuge until enlightenment. So this is the verses we take. Namo lama deshik dupe kus. Namo means pay homage, paying homage. Chaktalo, we say chaktalo in Tibetan. Namo means pay homage. Homage to who? In the Guru. So here in the Guru, embodiment of all the Buddhas, nature of the 3 jewels. So there are so many different ways of taking refuge. We say normally the common way of taking refuge is we say Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. But then in here in Nolsang, we say in the very beginning, Namo, in the Guru, yeah, and embodiment of all the Buddhas. So here, when it comes to Vajrayana, normally in Hinayana and Mahayana, they don't talk about, it's just a different term. They don't talk about Guru that much. But then in Vajrayana, when it comes to Vajrayana, and then Tantrikayana and all this great Dzogpa Chenpo and all these things, the Guru is the everything. Guru is the embodiment of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Dhaka, Dakini, I don't know, whatever, Lama, Idam, Khando, Chukong, Suma, everything is embodiment. Guru, how do you say? Embodiment, all the Buddhas, nature of the 3 jewels. So everything is your Guru, because Guru, all these different Buddhas, like 5 Buddhas, so many hundreds of Bodhisattvas, wrathful Buddhas, peaceful Buddhas. There are so many different emanation of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Actually, it's the manifestation of your own Guru. So when we talk about this, again, it goes back to the other day I have been talking about the union. Yeah, when we talk about union, or the ultimate realization is your own mind, which is inseparable from your Guru. So all this creation, we talk it, all the phenomena are your mind creation. So means all these are, even though, especially when it comes to Vajrayana, there are thousands of different deities to practice, thousands of different Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, so many are actually is the inseparable from your Guru, is the manifestation of your Guru. They comes in a different form, they comes in a different, different manifestation. Why? Because we individual, in human beings, we have a different view, we have a different capacity, we have a different, for example, among us, we all are different. My way of thinking is different, your way of thinking is different, someone else's way of thinking is totally different. It doesn't match. That's why Guru has to manifest in so many different, some take, as I said, Hinayana refuge. For them, they come, your Guru manifests as a Hinayana Buddha. Some has a broader mind, so they come in a broader kind of Mahayana master. Some has a wonderful, amazing, very immense, vast kind of mind or capacity, so they come in a Vajrayana, tantric, kind of a Buddha in Bodhisattvas. So that's why we in Vajrayana we always refer back to your Guru. If you practice your Guru, that's everything. You don't have to practice one after the other. Like, I practicing Manjushri and I finished it. Then I have to practice Avalokiteshvara. I finished it. Then I have to practice Guru Padma Sambhava. I finished it. Now I have to practice. I don't know, Kala Chakra. I have to practice Vajra Yogini. I have to practice, Chakra Samvara. Then endless. That's why the great who is that? George Pardhanati, what do you call this? One of the great masters of India, he said actually to all the Tibetans, in the past, Tibetan masters are maybe some of the masters in the sense, practitioners are practicing so many different deities, like hundreds of deities, and then they don't complete or they don't accomplish any of them. So he said, you Tibetans, you all are very stupid, We Indians are very smart. We practice only one, and then, we practice only one deity. That includes everything, So if you accomplish of practicing one deity or one Buddha, that everything, that is everything, because Buddhas are inseparable from each other. There is no different, it's one. Vajrayogini, we say Vajrayogini, Tara, trauma, all these are just a manifestation of outer, inner, and secret, manifestation. It's a one. There is no two. So, but then in you guys, in Tibetans, you all are practicing hundreds of deities, but you are getting nothing. We Indians are practicing only one, and we accomplish everything. So there's the smartness. That's why we call it actually the Vajrayana. It's a tap. We call it, there's a skillful means. The method is just unbelievable in Vajrayana. There are so many methods that's why if you are Vajrayana practitioner or if you are Tantrigana practitioner, it's the same anyway, Vajrayana, Tantrigana, there is a chance of getting enlightenment in one lifetime. Why? Because there are so many methods. We practice your Guru, and then it's everything. If you realize your Guru means you realize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You realize everything, all the phenomena. So that's why, whereas in Mahayana, it doesn't say. If you go through Mahayana practice, Mahayana way of getting enlightenment, it's really far away. For 3 eons, which is just countless time, you have to practice, accomplish of merit, you have to do that, and then it's just countless time you have to practice, and then you would just practicing emptiness, understanding of practicing of emptiness, and then you will kind of get enlightenment. But whereas in Vajrayana there are so many different methods, like as I said, like visualizing. Mahayana never talk about visualize yourself as a Vajra. For example, in Nolsang, we have to visualize yourself Guru Padma Sambhava. Why? Because you are Guru Padma Sambhava. If you realize you are promoting Guru Padma Sambhava, that's why therefore you are visualizing Guru Padma Sambhava. In Mahayana, they would never talk about visualizing. You are an ordinary, dirty kind of a human being. So, so we always have to, there are someone, God or the Buddha is there to take refuge, and I don't know, always supplicate, and then, always all these 5 poisons are the poison, we have to throw it away. And it's a different path anyway, it's a different path, whichever you prefer or whichever you feel comfortable with, you can practice. But then when it comes to Vajrayana, there are so many skillful methods that you will get enlightenment within in one lifetime. That's why, why? Because we practice like visualizing and all. There are so many skillful means. So anyway, so why I'm saying all this is because here we say Namo in the Guru. So your Guru is everything. Yeah, it says embodiment of all the Buddhas, nature of the three jewels. The nature of your Guru is three jewels. Nature of your Guru is all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Nature of your Guru. This I think I have to highlight a little bit again. When we say Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, for example, for people like us, we are, in that sense, we are kind of unfortunate. We don't see Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni, he came in this world. He is the king of the, Buddhist. He came in this world, but we have no karma to meet him, whatsoever. I don't know, we have no karma or whatever. We never met him, and he already left this world. So we say the Buddhas in the past, we have never met. Buddhas in the future, we never know when we are meeting, And then the present, we say present Buddha is Buddha Shakyamuni, but then he also left already. So your Guru is the one who show you all this, the teachings of Buddha, And also, I forgot to mention about when we say taking refuge, as I say, take refuge means, okay, just take refuge under the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And then that's all. I have confident devotion towards the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Or then, okay, now will you get liberated from this samsara? No way. You have to practice. Yeah. What Buddha said, you have to practice. So here it comes, what Buddha said is, your Guru is now giving you the teaching. The manifestation of Buddha is your Guru. So your Guru is, the gratitude or the blessings or how do you say, the kindness of your Guru is we say, the gratitude or the kindness of your Guru is equivalent, how do you say, inequivalent, to any of the Buddhas, because Buddhas we never met. We have no fortunate, we have no, we have no karma to meet all these great Buddhas. So many Buddhas came in the past, more, I think so many Buddhas will come in the future. But now, who show you the Buddha Dharma? Who teach you the Buddha Dharma? Who gave you this great, chance of getting enlightenment? That's your Guru, actually. That's why we call it Guru is everything. That's true. I mean, just simply think about it. Guru is the one who show you the path, as Buddha said. He said, my power and whatever, I am me as a realized being. I cannot just, take your hand and then pull you from the suffering of samsara. No way. I've shown you the path. Now the liberation, I've shown you the path of liberation. Now the liberation is in your hand. That's what Buddha said. So similarly, your Guru has shown you, we all are very fortunate to receive so many different teachings from your Guru. But Guru also same thing, like Buddha, he cannot just, pull you from the suffering of samsara and take you to the liberation. No way. What he show, what he tell, we have to practice now. Yeah. So Guru also says, given you the teachings, now it's, the liberation is in your hand. I don't know, whether we want to get liberated or we want to throw these teachings in the ocean and then, get lost. It's totally up to you. So that's why we say Guru's devotion, gratitude is, it's inequivalent from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because we have no fortune, no karma to meet any of the Buddhas, no fortune and no karma to meet any of the Bodhisattvas. So all the great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are the manifestation of your own Guru. That's why we say here, Namo in the Guru, embodiment of all the Buddhas, nature of the three jewels. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk that much anyway. So I and all the 6 classes of beings, so we consider ourselves as a Mahayana practitioner, Vajrayana practitioner. So we don't want to be selfish, like I want to be liberated. I don't just forget about the beings, doesn't matter whatever they face is their own karma. We wouldn't say that. So that's why we say I and all classes of beings take refuge until the enlightenment. It's not a lifetime, or how do you say, just for time being. It's not like that. Until the enlightenment, I would never give up. I took refuge under the Buddha Dharma, and here we say Guru, which is Buddha, Dharma, Dhaka, Dakini, everything includes in your Guru. So I take refuge until the enlightenment. So that's the kind of brief introduction of the refuge. I think it's very important. I think I hope it's not boring for all of you, because we all know about it. We have hear listen to this teaching so many times, but then again I just want to remind all of us, it's very important. This is the gateway. We say this, right? It's a gateway. It's the gate, main gate, where you want to enter, when you are entering. So it's a so you have a kind of there is a danger, so I want to take a protection. I need a protection. So protection is the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, so which is your Guru in the Vajrayana. So that's the kind of refuge, ultimate refuge, I would say. Okay, so now let's practice together, and then I can talk about this. Then Bodhicitta I will talk tomorrow. Okay, I think sometimes it's too much today, just refuge. I think you all know that. Again, you all can think about it. And then Bodhicitta, development of Bodhicitta is another most important topic, or the factor to talk about, which we can highlight tomorrow. So let's now continue with the practice of cleanse and purify. And there are also a few precepts, actually. I can talk tomorrow. Let's leave it today. It's already 1 hour. The precepts of taking refuge, there are a few things which are quite important. And then I can talk tomorrow anyway. So let's now continue reciting the cleanse and purify the substances for the burnt offering with. Yeah. Now you can also do with the same translation also. Yeah, I think it has everything. We do the second one with all the mudras today. The second one, okay, which is page number 3. You all have it? You all got it? Wonderful. Okay. Ramyam Kanga Ige Sumotu Shuale Lai Rujum Tamche Du Sangze Kadogo Jijo Rikja Pinsum Soba Mizang Jimani Gun Tamche Jungbe Dube Yunden Ngadan Dimbe Parnang Namka Saji Tamche Yongsu Kyabe Du Jinne Samgi Mekya Parakangwar. So now we have the translation here. The letters Ram, Yang, Kang dissolve into light. Yeah. So Rang, Yang, Kang Yige Sumotu dissolve into, we have to visualize letter Rang, Yang, Kang. Yeah, Ram, Yang, Kang. And then it dissolves into the light and turn into divine food of all tastes and nutritional values, and abundance of smoke offering articles of all color, smell, taste, and texture, all impure defilements, faults, and defects are purified, and they become endowed with the 5 qualities that please the senses. The form inconceivable clouds of smoke pervading and filling all the space in the earth. So this is the translation is very good. You all can go through it. But here we have to visualize letter rang yang kang yige sumo to shuale, so that to dissolve and become a light, and then jungwe hai ju tanje du. Oh yeah, I think this is the previous one, which I will talk tomorrow. So then anyway, this is same, then it becomes a divine food of all the different tastes, and it becomes as vast as possible, and all the pleasure, all the different offerings, and then we are burning it, and we are offering it. It says the form inconceivable clouds of smoke pervading and filling all the space on the earth. This is the offering. Okay, so the previous one has a little bit of explanation, which I will do tomorrow. Anyway, so now let's do all the mudras. Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Subhava Shuddhoham. Om Namah Sarva Tathagata Bhayo Vishu Mukhe Be Sarva Theka Ugat Saparana Imang Gagana Khamsu. So this one actually we do, little but not hard. The first one is just here we can do in this level, and then second one is goes here in front of you. Yeah, we call it what do you call this? So here we have to do. Okay, let's continue. Om Benzer Amirta Kunjali Hana Hana. Om Namah Sarva Tathagata Avalokite Om Sambara Sambara Om Gyana Avalokite Namah Saman Saparani Rasmai Bhava Samaya Mahaman Duru Duru Shidaya Zolani Nama Samantam Buddhanam Chaheshuri Jabhayat Mahasamaya Soha. So now about this visualization, as I've sent you all the these things, and then you all got it, and I think one of our participant and Jill and also Dinah, they both made a beautiful with all the photos and all the visualization, all with all the letters. So let me just go through it again. Where is it? So which is now clear anyway, isn't it? So first one, when we say Om Subhava, yeah. So Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Subhava. It's like a folding hand, but it's a little bit like that, yeah. As I send you all the. So here we call this one is Cheng Namdak Mudra, as written Cheng Namdak Mudra. So we have to visualize letter A, white letter A inside this. Okay, so here inside this we have to visualize letter A, and then it radiates light, and then from the letter A radiates light. Then you yourself have to visualize Buddha Verochana. We call it number Nangzit, yeah, Buddha Verochana, and letter A inside it, and then from the letter A white light, white letter A is white, and then white light radiates, and then it radiates to the burned substances, all the burned substances, and then it cleans and it purifies and it makes, multiplies, that's what we have to visualize. So it's same thing with visualization is same, but then the purifying, cleansing, multiplying, washing, purifying is same with all the, I think, all these 6 different mudras, but then with different mantra we have to change the visualization. So first one is yourself Buddha Verochana, Buddha Shakyamuni. First one is Buddha Shakyamuni, I said Vairocana is the second one. First one is Buddha Shakyamuni with letter A. So Buddha Shakyamuni, we all know it. So we have to get familiar with the visualization. And then Cheng Namdak Mudra, we call it. And then second one is you have to change again, now you are Buddha Shakyamuni, and immediately you have to change while you are reciting the second mudras. So we have to do slowly. Then you are Buddha Vairocana. Then letter is letter Kang. So which is very, very common, I think, especially to purify, cleanse, and then to multiply. We do this mudra, the Vairocana, we call it, the name of the mudra is Namkhadzu Chagya. Yeah, Namkhadzu mudra. So we have to visualize letter Kang. I send you all the Tibetan letter. So here we can't visualize English letter, okay? We have to visualize anyway Tibetan letters. So these are I've written in Tibetan, so you have to get familiar with it. I think because of the blessings, of course, initially it was Indian and then it translated to Tibet. So we have to visualize letter Kang, which is a blue color. So from the yourself, Buddha Vairocana, as I send you, it's a color, white color. Buddha Vairocana color is a white color. So letter Kang is a blue color. And then radiates, light radiates from the letter Kang, and it, burned, or the defilements or the impure of the substances, it's burned, it washes, it multiplies, it cleans, it purifies. That's what does visualization is saying, yeah. So that's the second one. We call it Namkhadzu Mudra with the letter Kang in blue, yourself visualizing with the Vairocana, yeah. And then third one is when we say Om Banzar Amrita Kundalai. So that one is second, we do like that. And then third one is when you do Om Banzar Amrita Kundalai Hana Hana Hum Pe. Here in the middle of these two, here we have to visualize the letter. Letter is Shri in red color. And then we call this one is Amrita Kundali, as I send you the photo. It's a wrathful deity. It looks like Vajrapani actually, wrathful deity. I think it has a different color, but in here it looks kind of a dark green color. Yeah, so that you have to visualize, and then letter She in red color, visualize here in the middle of this where we are touching two fingers, and then from the letter She, light radiates, and then purify, cleans, multiplies. The same, yeah. Okay, that is the third one. And then fourth one is we do visualize, then you have to visualize Buddha Ratna Sambhava, which is, what do you call this? Yellow color. Yeah, Ratna Sambhava is yellow color. It looks like Buddha Shakyamuni, but in here, I think also it can be this one also, but here it looks exactly, the posture of Buddha Ratna Sambhava is exactly like Buddha Shakyamuni, isn't it? So normally hand comes like that, how do I show? The Buddha Shakyamuni is like, it's sitting like that, right? The the left hand is holding the begging bowl, and then we call it, put like that. But then Ratna Sambhava normally, and in many photos, it's like that. The hand is showing the palm towards outside. So that you also can visualize. I mean, if you want to be very clear about it. But this one also okay. But Buddha Ratna Sambhava is in yellow color, and then the mudra is called Gyachin Shukden. Yeah, Gyachin Shukden mudra. And then here we have to visualize letter Tang, or the here. I think in the palm of this hand, palm of the left hand, letter Tang, and then it radiates the lights. Yeah, radiates the lights, and then it's same, multiplies, purify, cleans. So yeah, it's like that. So we have to move this, the right hand, we do like that, and then snap. Yeah, letter Tang in yellow color. Yourself also, Buddha himself You know, Ratna Sambhava is also yellow and letter is also in yellow color. And then now the Amoga Siddhi. The next one is Buddha Amoga Siddhi and letter Ha, I think in the palm again. So this is we do in offering, we do like that. Letter Ha in green color. The mudra is called Yeshe Karda mudra. And then visualize yourself Buddha Amoga Siddhi in green color. And letter Ha is also in green color. Then from the letter Ha, you know, in your palm, the letter Ha radiates light, and then it cleans, purifies the burnt suffering and multiplies, and all these things happens. Yeah. So that is the fifth one. And then sixth one is Namasamanta Buddha Namrahe Shujitabhagite Mahasamaya Soha. We have to visualize yourself Vajrapani. I send you the photo. As in the photo you can look at it and then get familiar with it. And letter Za, yeah, Za in red color, inside the, I think inside now when it comes to do it, inside you have to visualize letter Za, and then in red color. And yeah, but the mudra is called Wangyur Khorlo, yeah, Wangyur Khorlo mudra. So from the letter the same thing happens, radiates light, and then it clear and purifying and multiplies. Yeah. So these are the, it's quite difficult. Sometimes it can comes with the also, you know, mudra, the mantra, and there are so many things to read in between, which is very good. Visualization also comes, but in here in Nolsang we don't have every visualization written down. So with the mantras we have to visualize. Yeah. So get familiar with it anyway. Now it's quite clear. We have put photo there, the names of the mudras there, and then letter, and then everything is there. So you can go through it and then get familiar with it. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go back and start chanting. Namasamaya Soha. So now the self-visualization, which I already mentioned, already kind of explained. So now you all have got the idea how important it is. Yeah. Normally, I mean, the sequence is, you know, we are coming back. First we finish Nolsang and visualization and go back to refuge. Actually, it's supposed to be from the refuge, but we haven't got the translation. That's why we did the other way around. It doesn't matter. So, okay, let's now do the self-visualization together. And then this also, we haven't finished, I think. Tomorrow or the next week we can highlight. Yeah, so the very beginning of visualization has a lot of deep meaning in it, so we can later slowly we can talk about it. So let's practice together now. Shin Borol Beju Yesuala Chamendara Osa Anju Be Nejorma Amnayondu Harjin Sogil Sakarmuni Gandu Zimbul Kusun Tula Om Ahum Tele Okay, continue. Now, okay, you got it? It's did I mess up? No, yeah? Yeah, okay. Okay, now the invocation. You'll give Jivete Premahoji Jene Sinpujilan Gurpegaya Prematoji Tsayavyam Kurdupa Kandre gur jata hotu puru de bejendin Srishila ni chodiru jin jin boju shodan Waji gur tunde namla nirvai. Okay, now with the Maju and bass. Sina sa de go Chudi ji gonto Chudi le ganjulwa Ati jindagi bol Thoma mene dati Chirahana mati Gita ira Adam Gevasila jira Chigi golo Continue. Now you all are getting familiar with the melodies, yeah? Okay. Shivatani Jojagi Gilgil Gurgushin Chotadun Mojuki Jungeze Pajumeda Sangajing Agurata Ningbuishin Pungalpashi Rara so se ke guda Nadiyo merin bezu Sasum rol bezo yezu Kandru mai dawadum China sang barjezu Kya gida hamba kinamla Nisume Barzugam Nini Dobjindujiu Nyamiri Behangujum Deshe Dene Kinamla Michilo Idayagi Den min zun min chudebe Son perol be dirjo Okay, now the Nolsang. Now you have got all the explanation and also we have finished talking about it, so it's quite clear, yeah? Sem jengun gamari tipenol nyon modu gai she lanam no gosum migilanga isum nol dulcimenya belugi Andronul tam singam bedorje Loponol tokurchumi mata Andronul punyamalami suyo Sumanol sena sapegasu Tam chenol tingzin chupe sipe Mamunol Sedun chupe jeta Chamdil nolo jeda chupe jive Lanam nol ngagel chupe gibe Lanam nol docha chupe wangi Lanam nol chado chupe jakwe Lanam nol Timu chupe sulchi Lanam nulo karmar thab juyula Nyen po nulo thap kun chupe chela Nyen po nulo mita thaki kimla Kimda nul mita jime gon kya Lanam nulo ke parmita pume Pang me tengo persum lalu Nam nulum pula gonur kimla kim da nulunga itandala chagla no. You all are looking at the translation with the translation or only the transcription, the previous text, because there's a little bit of different, yeah. I think some okay with the translation. You all are looking at the transcription. Okay. I think you all are differently. So there's a little difference, so you may get lost again. So we all better watch only one. The one which I transcribe is matching with the original one. I say it's also original. The Nolsang we got with the translation from Lotsawa House. Also, it's more or less matching, but I think there are only one or two sentences are missing. Yeah. So again, we can easily get lost. So maybe while you are reading, I think for the recitation we do with my transcription. Or is it okay? Yeah. So I will tell you the page, because the with the translation, I don't know. Maybe if you feel better while you are reciting it, you at the same time you can read the translation also. Some people can, I think, do through it. So anyway, for time being, I think Line I can work with that, whichever is missing with the translation. For time being, we just do read from the transcription, the initial one which I sent to all of you, which is page number now here.
29.
Okay. Yes, 29. Yes. Yes, 29 now. Page number 29, second last line. Ke lunul lugi, yeah. So go this one, okay? The transcription we read from that one. So then everyone will, otherwise we can get lost and then we wouldn't find the lines properly. Okay, so we for time being we just stick with this, and then we can redo or whatever need to be done. We can do the translation later. Okay. Everyone has it now? Everyone got it? Okay. Page number 29, okay? Second last line. Yeah. Mami di chila mangsina tsu cheo cha inuli de Sikpa za jing ni tip jing jing Senmo ye gonul go kurmik dip Nawa on yella nulwe jadum Ditching na putin nulwe midi Akarma mutin nulwe zigi Kecho je gepin la nulzim Limi ju dala nuladasi Tegarda jila nulagotham Chokta jala nulinunam Dunmi ju jila nulisi Dumi tu la nulwe tu moge jung kala nulwe zaji Zagdaji dala nula dasi Dula nula nulwe toshi Filmi gyur chula nulwe buji Tingin jung chingla nulwe jingsa Kulbur toyo tabla nulwe jumi Tongshin gung dala nulwe za Boju go to no lego, no to no to la tapu no lega. Nyamguki no lega, Tenzi jine kaji no le marap. Limosho tan le jingi, Wamposhima lupila nul semtor. Dunmi juelgi la noliti, Chimba nyama lugi lunul shagun. Sharoda chalanulvijada Zidanyamalugi sunolve Simide gatinela sunolve Simide lugi shanul Nyamdo chunul jukun zuchi Simbuda chanul dilebema Nataza banul chuburdoshi Zatu je zanul shadum Jichinja bunul punam jiji Loki tuloshi aminul sonul Muginul yusinul tarachi Pomenul nalbumu zindatin Zapenul zinul gunul tabju Kunginul shividur sisan Namenul dijene shempanazin Chivenul punyam mitayeta Luginul de la sopenul jiv Tamche kun Okay, now the visualizing smoke offering substances. Yeah, normally we just continue because it's the same melody, so we can also just to understand and we can give short break if we do individually, and also normally we don't also play symbol here. Jupai salatem bechui Rabdulene mi drigilungi Rabgube zawaluine Kiri shinge timulane rabdu Min beshi lodamine su Kyape shinge di shukun malu Kyape shinge khado jiru Dembe shinge shinsho zendin garmar Akaharu sin kimbayu shin Shupa danga dushin paludapa Penkartam bubanyu nyari Sirgo danga pushin mushin bushin Shimne to dibusum dazanju Mene to dinu jukata Kaveri ne jetazoa Yumata junagana dui Rijeta darzarin chenzi Chemarata sekim chanta shinto Kue chui garsum pudang arsum Tama tanga shatala suwangpo Namye su jingi la pe dunyamzi Parmarata gukul garna jibu Nato so jina sasum no jib Salve de mete chuchulum Rabdori nam kajindu tompar Gurve na rale give mela Sifai jisuri surnamba Nasogi isi jimela Nolguna minitindi sangyur ji te la nam zogi Nolguna pukashini ji sangyur ji ma se kandu zogi Nolguna balam daraji sangyur ji chukyo suma zogi Nulguna shadana suti sangyur che zari gon pozogi Nulguna karsuma sumdi sangyur che la sindege zogi Nulguna shintimen chuti sangyur che kasudam chen zogi Nulguna chemarokum ji sangyur che la nami zogi Nulguna progar yeshu ji sangyur che lunam mi zogi Nulguna lumina suji sangyur che ngena mi zogi Nulguna darsana shidi Chi sada mi zogi Nulguna nyaji seguji sangyur Chi ne da mi zogi Nulguna takwasurgaji sangyur Chi shida mi zogi Nulguna kembaseguji sangyur Chi yula mi zogi Nolguna banyu karsum ji sangyur ji nula mi zogi Nolguna chimarugu ji sangyur ji yang la mi zogi Nolguna rinchina suji sangyur ji khala mi zogi Karsabna suji sangyur Chi tabla mi zogi Nolguna shapura suji sangyur Chi shila mi zogi Nolguna juzina suji sangyur Chi pola mi zogi Nolguna tarsana suji sangyur Chi jala mi zogi Nolguna chemarvagim ji sangyur Chi jela mi zogi Nolguna jagazi chuji sangyur Chi dola mi zogi Nolguna shasamagim ji sangyur Chi kela mi zogi Nolguna halasundagaji sangyur Chi lula mi zogi Nolguna zungumgaji sangyur Jogi Nolguna shindime tuji sangyur Chi ri la nam zogi Nolguna yushu paluji sangyur Chi gyaptin la nam zogi Nolguna pranashini ji sangyur Chi luki guzun zogi Nolguna la chamini ji sangyur Chi zenur lonchu zogi Nolguna shinchuji same sangyur Chi nolji mi tamche Taksang ne shilgun jindu china salgyur Lamaidam no lwayonaya Shinchoti zameni gi sangyurishi Pao khandra no lwayonaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Shukyo Sumano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Kunyale Keno Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Sangri Lanam no Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Lasinde Yeno Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Jitin Kyunwano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Tengelhanam no Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Parginginam no Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Ogilunam no Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Jidane Dano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Shidan Chamdalo Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Jitin Lasuno Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Sajine Dano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Gugila Sono Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Guvelangano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Malabudino Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Talapen Bono Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Nola Chupono Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Lalumen Bono Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Rala Sirmono Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Shingla Sangpano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Pugla Getuno Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Gola Tayano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Talan Yun Moyo Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Pula Jalano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Nolayang Lano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Shugla Zolano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Zela Drolano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi Zela Golano Loa Yunaya Shincho Jizame Nigi Sang Yurishi continue. This is the last melody we'll learn, yeah. Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Nagin ladum no lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Latsuno karno lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Laziru gano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Don't say game no loyo naya. Singchoti zamengi sangyurji. Latatsin pono loyo naya. Singchoti zamengi sangyurji. Laluton pono loyo naya. Singchoti zamengi sangyurji. Naya shulmono loyo naya. Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Lara chumpono lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Sume tamzeno lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Sume chenzino lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Shudze jubze no lwayo na Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Tenze na tsono lwayo na Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Nzongdo dangal lwayo na ya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Okay, now this one is today. Time is almost 8 o'clock, but doesn't matter. We will continue doing this one with new melody. So this is the last melody we learn, yeah? So today this is a new one, okay? The coming one is. And then here we have to play bell, okay? We all have to play bell together. Okay, let's do together, then it will come slowly. Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Pimbe talyano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Mangpe suyano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Tape gyoyano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Ziki jiyano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Senpre tulyano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Shukpe nuryano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Pimbe dayano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Senchua pilsumano lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Sheyano jyoda sabungi Kunpe pergoheno lwayo naya Singchoti zamengi sangyuji Takpe no tsuno lwayo naya 신초 지자민기 상규지 주기를 돌아윤나야 신초 지자민기 상규지 신산의 산을라윤나야 신초 지자민기 상규지 육배 말땐을라윤나야 신초 지자민기 상규지 민노리기을라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 난다요걸라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 축당고기놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 신주놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 똑당아탄놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 다다지다놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 세다순남하놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 가지왕타놀라윤나야 신초지자민기 상규지 Okay, so that was the melody for today. Yeah, melody is quite easy. Okay, let's go back to oh yeah, page number 91. Just go back to 91. Just I will read the melody. So melody is quite easy, isn't it? Yeah, you all can get familiar. It's like, okay, if you haven't heard properly because of the playing bell. Genda polo minor kursiki siki ongtanul vayunayang shincho jizamingi sangyurji kepetianul vayunayang shincho jizamingi sangyurji zuiluyanul vayunayang 신초 지자민기 상규지 신위 바양을 와요나양 신초 지자민기 상규지 금배타양을 와요나양 신초 지자민기 상규지. So it's like that, okay? Quite simple one. And then bell, you just have to play with the rhythm. It goes with the rhythm. Ke da cha pulo mino kushiki siki wantanu loyunaya shincho jizamingi sangyuji inze duvyanu loyunaya shincho jizamingi sangyuji zue luyanu loyunaya 신초 지자민기 상규지 견배교냐는 와연나야 신초 지자민기 상규지. Okay, so like that. Okay, this one, so you can practice today. So there's the melody and the bell for today. You can get familiar with it. So okay, so I leave it there. It's already almost 8 o'clock, so you all can now unmute, and any doubt and any question you all have, we can have discussion together. And then about the refuge, there are so, I mean, you know, scholarly, there are so many different categories they have to teach, but I don't really want to go through all these categories. You know, my way of talking is very direct. You know, I just want to be direct. I hope it was not so messy or, you know, kind of keep repeating. Actually, you know, I have been repeating again and again. We say the important thing we have to repeat, you know, all this great master says, if we have to repeat even 9 times. So refuge is very important as a, you know, for the first step. You know, if there is no proper refuge, and then, you know, we will get lost. That's why I wanted to kind of, I hope it was, but my, you know, it was understandable. my way of explaining is sometimes very messy. I understand myself, really it's very improper, kind of very unprofessional. So many people like professional way of explaining. I thought of actually going through the professional way of explaining by, we have a book to read, but then sometimes it's like, it's just a very professional, then it becomes kind of, the main point we again missed, so I wanted to kind of a pinpoint. I hope it was okay. Okay, anyway, so now you all can have, we have any discussion, any doubt, you can unmute and ask questions. Oops. Yeah. Any question? Yeah. No questions.
I have one question.
Yeah.
With the self-visualization, it's visualizing oneself as Guru Rinpoche.
Yeah.
And then do you keep that visualization for the entire practice or just for the self-visualization part?
We have to keep for entire practice. So dissolution comes in the very end. Towards the end, I will tell where we have to dissolve. So 2, we have to visualize yourself, and also in the front we have to visualize Guru Padmasambhava. So of course we see it as you become inseparable from the, when we do the invocation, yourself and Guru Padmasambhava visualizing in the front. So normally I think for the Nolsang we have to have both, the front, we call it Dunke in Tibetan, front visualization and then self visualization. So that we have to keep entire Nolsang. And then I can make clear about it, then we might have again another doubt of, so for example in Jio Sangcho there is Guru Padmasambhava, the burnt offering fire itself is also Guru Padmasambhava, but in Nolsang case it's more or less anyway same, but I can make clear about it. Okay, so dissolution comes towards the end, meaning we have to keep the visualization all the way throughout the practice.
Thank you, Tingla.
I will make more kind of a detailed explanation about it, okay? And I think towards the end, so then I can give brief kind of, from the beginning towards the end, what we have to do, where we have to do. I will try to explain in detail. Other
question. It's about renunciation and refuge, and the question is, as we practice, we see more clearly the suffering in samsara, but we also somehow appreciate samsara. So samsara can almost become more beautiful in some way, So it's a kind of funny thing. So it's not exactly just ugly. It's both very painful, but also very interesting and beautiful. So it's a kind of almost I don't know. I don't even know how to say it, but it's kind of. It's not like the whole of samsara becomes very, very ugly, but it is very clearly. You know what I mean?
Appreciate. We have to appreciate. That's also very clearly said. We have to appreciate. If there is no samsara, there is no enlightenment. Also,
Yes.
Yeah, the samsara we get enlightenment. It shows us it teaches us so many things. So we say Semche meeting Sangye me in Tibetan. If there is no sentient beings or the samsara, then there is no enlightenment also. So of course, appreciate in the sense, but we shouldn't be as a practitioner. We shouldn't be, kind of attached to it, because anyway we say we as an ordinary being, we don't see the precise part of the sufferings. We say, who says it? It's like we don't realize it. Otherwise, we are going through every moment, every single moment we are going through the sufferings, but we don't realize it. Only those beings who have seen the what do you call this? The Tonglam means the path. They are what do you call this? Sachulamnga. So 10 bhumis and 5 path, yeah. So 5 path has like Tsoglam, Jorlam, Thonglam. So first one is accumulate the first one, and then second, the third one is Thonglam, the part of seeing, of so who the beings who have crossed or approached to that level, meaning Thonglam, meaning actually realizing the reality of the nature. So emptiness and understanding of the union or the, how do you say, the ultimate, realizing the ultimate truth. So then we call it Thonglam, So those beings realize the suffering of samsara every second, every tiny part of it, they realize. But for us, we don't realize it because we have a gross kind of feeling, the very subtle part, we don't realize it. It's like there's an example of, if we keep the one of this, what do you call this, eyebrow or eyelid, one of this, if we put on your palm, you won't feel it, you don't feel it, we wouldn't feel it. But if we put the same one single eyelid, what do you, eyelash, or I don't know, what do you call this?
Eyelash, yeah.
Eyelash, yeah. If you put on palm, you wouldn't feel it, So, but if we put in the eyes, you definitely feel. You have to take it out, otherwise it's very painful, or I don't know, itchy, or it makes it hurts. So similarly, we ordinary beings, we don't realize the suffering of samsara. It's like putting the eyelash on your palm. So those beings who have crossed the seeing path, it's like it's same, the suffering is same, but they will feel like the eyelash putting in the eyes. That's what we say. Actually, the suffering is we are going through every single moment. But you are right, Steve. As I say, we have to appreciate, definitely appreciate, because of the samsara, because of the sufferings. Then we will get enlightenment. We want, it teach us a lot. That's what we have to appreciate. Yeah, that makes sense or not?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. First I want to thank you for giving us this precious teaching. Thank you. And the second, I want to make it clear when to burn the powders. When the timing. Yes, the visualizing a smoke offering substance. The timing.
No, there you have to visualize and then start burning.
This next paragraph, right? Ki Mari wangi nona ranjong yeshesang.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Not from the
beginning to burn.
Yeah.
No, from beginning. No, you don't have to burn. From beginning, if you have vase, gumpa. If you have vase, then you can clean. You can do chap. Purifying, cleansing. You can do. If you don't have vase, it's okay. Just put a clean water in a bowl, and then with the flour, even you can just sprinkle on the burnt substances.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, from Marikongi, then you have to start burning, and then if there's a kind of a new chapter starts, then again you have to burn. Again you have to burn. Yeah.
Again,
it's like different melodies. So it says in the Nolsang. Then now this offering is to as it says in the translation, it's very clear. So then Guru Rinpoche said now it's for outer, inner, I don't know, different deities. So in 1 or 2 times, 3 times you can kind of again burn, and again you can add up burning.
Just to add up, not.
Okay.
Oh yeah, add up.
Time for add up, not to prepare different kind of objects. One is enough.
Very precise kind of, in some of these chapters we have to take to the shrine room. Some you have to take the fire, the burn offering to your storeroom, Some you have to take to, I don't know, but I don't think anyway in one go you just, it's important that I have to highlight. also important to tell all of you how many rooms you have, you know, like you have few rooms, shrine room, dining room, kitchen, store room, I don't know, whatever, living room. You have to burn the fire, the smoke everywhere. You have to, not only putting outside. I mean, unless again the circumstances, if doesn't allow, if it is not allowed, then it's okay, just burn outside. If it is okay, then it's also important to burn all the kitchen, because, you know, we say like stove deity also get contaminated, the store deity also get contaminated, so all different deities. So it's important to be there. That's what Holiness was also advising all of us. So you know, the caretaker nuns are busy taking every day the fire, the smoke into every rooms, every nun's single room have to take fire, the smoke, burnt offerings. So also, if you can allow, you are allowed, you can, you know, little bit of smoke you can put in every rooms. Yeah.
I have a very big smoke. So we have to chant, then we have to walk around in different rooms. This is very busy.
Very busy. So you leave the chant for time being, and if you are alone,
I have to end up the powder, I have to walk around the room, and I have to chant, and at the same time use the bell or drum. Oh, I you know, how?
There's so many arms you have, then you can do
Yeah, I wish.
So I'm just, in that case, in one, you just, you know, after, if you have, before the Marikwangi, then you can start burning and take to all the rooms. Then you sit down and chant all the way. And then you can add up. Again, if you want to add up, or the burn substance is finished, then you can stand up and do it. Yeah, stand up and go and add up the burn substances in the fire, and then sit down. Yeah, you have to be everybody. You have to be, the shrine master. You have to be chanting master, what not.
So busy, you know.
Yeah.
And also we offer also to all the guests, right?
Yeah.
And
all
then
the
the guests all follow you.
All the guests
No,
follow you.
this is really my concern. I have a feeling, because I do really big smoke project at home, and of course you offer to all the Buddha and also to all the guests, but then the guests, they don't go. So do we have a special prayer or mantra, and then I can send them back and they come back tomorrow? But I have a feeling they all stay in my house and enjoy, and but then they make a lot of noise everywhere. So
You
what
have
do I
to
do?
Yeah, go. That will come towards the end of our Nolsang practice. We have to ask them to go.
But they don't go. In my case, they really don't go. Is there any mantra? Really, they don't go. They're everywhere, you know. I have a feeling they sometimes you hear the big band upstairs, and then they throw the balls or they ring the doors. What do I do to send them back?
You have to do
Is there any prayer or any mantra? Should I do this?
It has Nolsang, end of the Nolsang. I have in transcription. I've given it. Om Keke Simchanto. We call it the Shekso. Them to go back, yeah. And then whenever we request them to come, we have to request.
But they come, the more coming, but they never go. That's my case now. I asked many masters, what do I do? What do I do now?
You don't get too attached to it. Anyway, don't feel like, if you feel more, you know, they are coming, they are doing something, this and
but they
that.
really make a big noise, you know. They switch on my iPad, they switch on my computer. They ring the door, and they even throw things down, you know. So if it's a really small noise, I won't bother you. But really, they make a big noise and lots of things happening.
Okay, so maybe
so if
you have.
say, oh, you walk in the room, then I will bring them even outside, indoor. Then it's
Then they are what? Actually, they are spirit or what? I think you should do more important. I think it's if there's any karmic death, you know, because normally it doesn't happen, you know, all these, they wouldn't, I mean, all these guests that we call it 4 guests, which we have to, tomorrow the explanation will come. When we invite, they wouldn't harm you, you know. all this.
It's a distraction. They won't harm me.
They just do all these things, such funny things. Okay.
They make me pull on the drum.
You do the you ask them to go back, then send them back with the.
They don't listen to me, you know. So I thought maybe it's a part is missing because there's always a mantra or prayer afterwards, and then say, please going home this way. But I don't know if there are any this kind of mantra.
Best mantra. I mean, if they mantra, they also the the recitation we can also do. If not, I mean, to my understanding, what you are facing is best is to, I think, recite the Om Mani Padme Hum with compassionate mind towards them. That's more important because they are also, I mean, I think asking something, they are suffering, or I don't know what they are actually asking. Maybe those beings in the intermediate state, I mean, can be those, like spirit who has hasn't got the form, and then they are looking for something, they are asking something. So best is to really Avalokiteshvara mantra is the best, and then we have to be compassionate enough for those beings, really from your depth of heart, and then try to advise them like we do in the Sangat Seva and all these things, or try to advise them to be compassionate, not harming, not doing anything, and then try to be compassionate ourselves, and also kind of teach them. There are a few also verses we have to read, and then also teach them. So mainly, I mean, not reading is not so important in that sense. We have to be very compassionate towards them. So that's the best, no matter what it is. Many people have spirit problem. Many people have, I don't know, so many problems. So best is the reciting the Avalokiteshvara mantra with compassionate, with bodhicitta mind, with compassionate mind. Then that will do everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. And any other questions? Any other doubt? No, yeah.
I have a question. The other day when you mentioned about Gana Chakra, you said that we should share the Gana Chakra with people that we are kind of connected. I didn't understand exactly if it's like people who have the same Samaya commitments, or if it's like people who we know that even within our mandala, that we should be careful, like to share with people who are following the Samaya, like, or how is it that that you see that?
Yeah, we call it who are in one mandala, meaning one guru's disciple, and also we have same commitment, same Samaya commitment. That's the main thing. If we don't know, even though he's just he or she is just a friend of mine and he's a very good person, or I don't know, whatever, if he has no same commitment, Samaya commitment with me, like me, then I don't think we can share. So yeah, pure Samaya, who has kept the pure Samaya, whatever the vows he has, whatever the Vinaya vows, Pratimoksha vows they are keeping, so that we have to realize. And also normally we say tamsik chikpa, tamsik chikpa means same Samaya, and also not broken Samaya, and pure, in which we really know properly. That's what Holiness was emphasizing on it. If not, then we cannot just, I think, we can't share, because Gana Chakra is something, one of the advanced, kind of a practice when it comes to really, if we really do Gana Chakra. That in this night moon, the new book has, Holiness is given the very detailed explanation in it. Gana Chakra, it doesn't become Gana Chakra. There's so many different conditions to become a proper Gana Chakra. Otherwise, what we are doing now is just an offering, he said, very clearly said. I can also, one day I can pick up that point and then let you, all of you know. So actually it's a pure Samaya who has the same Samaya, but then also keeping the pure Samaya commitment. Though with those we can share.
Thank you.
Again, other question?
Yes, one question.
Mm-hmm.
Where we burn the substances, it's it has to be clean. It's I don't know, it's not sacred, but it has to be clean. Like,
Yeah.
like used for this purpose only, no?
Mm-hmm.
And
Clean. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, clean and a special place, no? So I was thinking, we never use a fireplace. Can it be the fireplace?
Oh, you don't have the fireplace?
No, I have a fireplace. So in the fireplace, not to put everything and then the smoke is going out. So it's not outside, but the smoke is going out.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, now I think something to put around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So the
It's
fireplace
okay.
is okay.
It's okay. Smoke is going out. You are burning inside, right?
Yes.
No, it's okay. It has to be clean. Then it's okay.
Yeah, to clean and maybe only use it for that purpose then.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's like a chimney then, no?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think it's definitely okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Normally, I mean, traditionally, we do like outside in the open air and then just burn it. I think these are okay. I don't think it's not allowed or something. It's as far as the smoke is clean and then it's going in the space, means we are offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so it's definitely okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, and thank you so much for all your teachings.
No. Very simple teaching. I hope sometimes it can be very boring. Sorry for that. Keep repeating.
Very inspiring.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other question? Yeah, if not, then quite late already. It's at 22, means some place can be very late, yeah, night. Okay, so then we will leave there if no question. And then see you all tomorrow again. And then, yeah, any doubt or question you all have, you can always ask. Feel free. If maybe some people maybe don't feel kind of, I don't know, shy or something to ask here. So you can separately message me, then I can respond here to all of you. Yeah. Okay. So have a very good night, good evening, good afternoon, good day ahead. And then, yeah, see you tomorrow. Let's do the dedication. I also forgot just one time. The very important. I think this one. Sometimes I just forget. Dedication is very important. Okay. So do just one time the aspiration prayer, which is page number 160 in the transcription text. And then dedicate together all our merit, what we have accumulated today, for those beings, like always thinking about the beings who are suffering. And then dedicate, we have to dedicate, like if we don't know, how all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, great masters, are dedicating, I also do similarly to what they are doing. So if we think that way, if our attitude is that, and then it becomes okay. Okay, let's do together. Everyone has it? Page 160, yeah? Chumden de Dijin Shikpa Mulam Jupe Gelpon Chakse Lo Leta Lo Brigin Le Gurvai Duntane Ta Jumpe Tivasu Simje Imi Divin Namgo Jitin Kamsu Jumara Maguriji Chitare Shimi Chipe Se Chajin Gichi Chilalu Simde Tebe Soto anegi dunge jinge ba jikdene kamsu jumare maguriji chida shinje kana zubade negi mingzam de beja jimbe ninje bada da berim sogi lucine kula not bare maguriji neve giri tonta ye juda lobure ye jo sundya juda Jiga zajine la soba ye lucine guna tiwara magure The same dewa malu choche pe jonje chupe dunge jineba malu jijinge tanto dengue ne me digi dembarasho lama kuncho namki duje ta kanjo chekyo sume tutoda leje luwa me pe dendogi Mulam chitre tapa jubgyurji karma jabjip marme dang gyuma zilpa chubur milam lokang chinda buduche chunam de taranta. Okay, so see you tomorrow all. Okay, have a good day. Good night, good evening.